Well, I've got a slow, kind of gunked up Baldwin 6721, an old blue case. I don't think we've ever taken these apart before, so we'll go ahead and try and do on this today. I'm going to take it apart and clean it up, but let's just cover a few things. I might run out of memory time, but we'll see what we see and go from there. Try to prop this phone up here, give you a view. So eventually I'm going to take this latch bolt out, so I might as well straighten this pin. It needs to pull. It has a flat side right here, and then this side they've bent, and that gets installed with the flat side up. It comes down so it never drops out. The bend is so that it didn't decide to raise up. I'm just going to stick the strike plate in alongside that flat, hold that still, try and straighten this pin just a little bit right there before I take the cover off. That way this will be able to pull when we get to that. Maybe a little bit more. Stop there. And this is just loaded with old grease. Who knows, there could be something broke inside with the age of it. I just want to check it out. The lady ordered a spindle from Baldwin Center, a new style spindle instead of the two-piece slip-in spindle, but that's not really her problem. The problem's in this lock. Her knob was loose and spinning, so I got this block, helps hold it together, which we've done in the past. So I'm just going to go ahead and try and pop this cover. Oh, there's one more screw that used to at one time be hidden below the sticker, but somebody's been in here, and we'll go ahead and pull this cover. And there is a spring up top here. You can see it poking through, and that hooks on, so that's likely to blow, or there's likely to be an issue. Just to put that back together, and that's this spring here, wraps through a slot in the case, and you can see all this grease and troubles we've got inside here. So we're going to go ahead and take it apart, I guess, and see how far we get on this video. But I'll go ahead and relieve that spring, get it out of the way, set it aside, and we can take this, throws the deadbolt. You see how this old grease is just gotten hard and slowing everything down. And this looks like it trips the buttons when the deadbolt is retracted. Go ahead and get this little toggle thing out of here. Set it aside. And proceed from there. Now we do have a wound spring or two down here that helps to return all this knob hub assembly and stuff. So that's going to be under some pressure down there. Let's see how much I can do up top. Get this bolt out, slide it out, right? And the point of this screw-in disc here is that equalizes pressure on this yoke, because you have a Mortise cylinder on the outside, and when it hits the cylinder and tightens up, it tends to want to go sideways. So that should be installed like it is, you know, with the V-notch facing the yoke. And this yoke could be pulled out, but it's also not part of our problem today. This little piece is held on with a screw at the back. I'll probably just leave that in and toothbrush around it with WD-40 and stuff. Take this little guide out of here. This is all very sticky. And now we're going to go ahead and try and pull these hubs. So I'm going to take this pressure off this back spring here. Not the latch spring, but this main spring here. So I've got that one, see, with its pressure. I'm going to get these hubs out. Which don't like coming off my pin. But I believe they should. We'll just proceed and take other stuff out first. Don't have all my tools in here, but I'm just going to try and raise up on this spring assist here. Get it off this end post. Using this old strike plate, I guess. There we go. now the spring pressure's let off. The spring shot out of the back of the case. And we can take this part. Man, we're just really hung up on this grease. And that spring is stuck in between sort of a fork situation there, but it'll come out, and that part does sometimes break and need replaced, but it looks like we're in good shape today on that one. There's another spring down here that's tripping underneath that. And that's probably what's keeping this from pulling. It's just hooked a little bit on that. And we might as well pull the latch bolt. I'm just going to take the spring first. And we can't pull this till we get rid of that pin that we worked on early. I'm just squeezing against the guide portion in the case that the pin passes through in the bottom of the pin. And that's lifted it up. Now I can get a hold of the flat. And kind of wiggle and pull on that in the direction it needs to extract. Get it out of there. Now this latch bolt will come out, and it's ours. Down here we've got these toggle buttons. The new stuff, or no, maybe there is a ball bearing in here. Gotta watch this ball bearing on this bottom one. It's hard to load, kind of tends to blow out. So let's see if there. Yeah, there's the ball bearing starting to show itself. So I'm just covering that area to try and save. There's the bearing. And there's a little spring inside there, so we're going to keep track of that. That's the lower button. Then the upper button. And we still have this piece that's under some spring pressure down here, so just try and let that spring off. Work it up out of there. Like that. The spring is stuck to my finger with that old grease. And it hooks around the edge and helps to return this thumb to press actuator. And at this point it's pretty much blown apart. I mean, this piece will lift off. That helps with the retracting. Get it out of there. This little toggle at the bottom, which just kind of interacts the two buttons with each other, can come out. Looks like it's ball side down. So this thing, we might as well pull the yoke just to say we did it, but you want to not get this flipped upside down when you reinstall it. So it goes a certain way, a certain side up. With this offset, looks like it's facing down into the case. And I know how to get that right, so. Now we're going to hose this out with WD-40 and toothbrush, scrub it real good inside a metal baking pan that I keep around. And then whatever extra WD-40 can flow to a corner, I can pick it up with a toothbrush, clean these other parts, put this thing back together. Now I'll do the screenshot for the cover of this video with the final picture of the interior after it's cleaned up. And that's pretty much it, I guess. You don't want to sit here and watch me scrub parts, but we're good to go. Clean these things up. This old Baldwin blue case seems to be marked 6321 on the model number. I might have said that wrong earlier, but looks like it's a 6321 right hand in brass. Rock on, people.